Trustee Henry,
Here,
please tell us the location.
12913 Southwest Vermilion Circle, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Be right down.
Here.
Trustee Lopez, Mayor Williams,
Here.
and I'll note the presence of myself as well as.
I'm here too.
Trustee Coffee. Could you tell us where you're located? Right here. I'll note the presence of myself and, Mr. Posen, you need to tell us where you're located.
I know I'm in Florida, but I don't know the address.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
You get back there. And I'll note the presence of the other fine gentleman with us in the room.
Distinct honor two of our very dear friends with us today, who work very tireless and hard and for us and for everybody in the county. I can speak firsthand that I speak to the gentleman all the time. I run into all different functions and speak to him on the phone. And I remember once the county executive called me 11 o'clock at night one night just to ask me a quick question, and the deputy county executive all the time was on the phone with me asking me how it's going. He's working on some problems to fix with us too. And I can say in all my 30 years of sitting here that you guys are doing a fantastic job. And we really appreciate it. I remember the first time we came here to represent the county that, he wanted everybody to be a family and a team. And when we come in door, there's no politics and everybody's treated equally, the little guys and the big guys, and he's more than kept up his word today. Working to help us and give us money and do everything he can, and all the great, CBG, we were the first one to get the new one again, and, all the programs and the things, I get all your emails from your staff every single day. We pass them on to our community members, and I can only say thank you for what you're doing for us. Thank you for what you're doing for everybody in the county on behalf of the village of Elmsworth, and you guys are just phenomenal. And I know you want to come up, say hello, so you want to come sit next to me, or you want to?
We'll do it from there.
Okay, if you sit here, you'll be on TV now?
If I sit there, it'll extend another
No.
20 minutes.
Why don't we, we'll put the mic here. Mike, can make it turn the camera toward there? So we have our county executive, George Oliver, and deputy county executive, Ken Jenkins. Welcome.
Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. I appreciate being here. This is, as the mayor said, a repeat visit a couple of times. Knock it over. Anyway, it's a great honor to be back, and I do remember slightly over 6 years ago when I first visit here, and I indicated that I wanted to try to develop a stronger relationship between the village and the county, and to do with all the different communities. There are 45 towns, villages, and cities in Westchester County. And so that year, and then one subsequently, we got kind of messed up with COVID, but I tried to make a visit. It could be an annual visit, or at least every other year, just to do that, to be able to talk, meet, and go over different issues that are at hand in the county, give you a little briefing. Ken Jenkins, Deputy County Executive, is here. We're going to split up covering a few issues. We hope it's interesting. Let's try to keep it short. I know you got your own issues.
You can spend all night.
I'm too smart to go with that one. But I was once a councilman in my home community, and I remember once we had a meeting at the county office building. It's really not relevant who was in charge in those days. But I spoke to one of the more senior council members and said, when we go up there, what do I expect? He said, expect that you're entering the palace of pain. So I always thought that's how the county office building was viewed when I was a councilman. So we don't want to replicate that. We have worked together on a number of things. The CDBG program is notable. Every time I go by DeLuca Park, it's concerts down there. We've been there for other events. And I do feel like this is a good example of working together and getting money from the feds to make an improvement down there. Michael Mills, of course, has responsibility with our CDBG program. We appreciate He has professional experience that helps all the communities in prioritizing issues and so forth. So Michael, thank you for that contribution over and above what you do for the village. And then, of course, when we equalized the sales tax a couple of years ago, we were able to raise the amount of revenue that you receive in sales tax, which helps you do the same thing we do, which is try to keep a hold on the property tax levy, because that's the tax that most people are upset about. So we've been able now, in the last 5 years, to have a net decrease in county taxes. Now, the village and the county together, even with the town, we're still only a third of the taxes. So our friends understand that the larger portion is the support of schools, and that's the New York City system. That's a conversation for another day. But at least from our standpoint, you know, we've been able to share some of that money back with you, and hopefully it's helpful to you, because you're running the day-to-day activities of the village, the policing in the village, sanitation, pickup, curbside, and all that. These things fall on your shoulders, and so we know that even though we have responsibilities that are local too, it has to work together, and that's hopefully what we try to do. We're here to talk a little bit about the county budget. We'll try to be as rapid fire as we can. Our budget year is a calendar year fiscal year, so we have to complete the budget in December and start January 1st on an annual budget. Obviously, villages, school districts, the state are on mid-year budget cycles that are a little bit different. In our budget that we just adopted, it's a $2.4 billion budget. Now, that's a lot of money compared to what your budget is in the millions. But compared to the state budget, which is somewhere in the 225, 235 range of billions of dollars. So the state budget's about 100 times the budget of us. And the federal government's budget, hold on for this, is $6.1 trillion. I don't know how many of you remember seeing Mike Myers when he played Austin Powers, and had Dr. Evil. He came out of cryogenics and he held somebody up for $1 million, as if that was a lot of money. So now, when you're in the trillions at the federal level, multiple billions at the state level. So, in addition, though, to what we've done with sharing back the sales tax and keeping the property tax that we've done, we've been able to upgrade our bond ratings. We want Ken to cover some of the fiscal things. We'll go back and forth quickly and get through. Okay.
Thanks, Judge. And certainly it's always a privilege to be here in the village, and thank you for the invitation and the hospitality as forward to me. We were able to get our bond rating increase when we walked in the door in 2018 from the previous year. Our bond rating was downgraded from AAA to AA plus. Cases of some of our rating agencies this year. We get our back in the place that they should be. Fitch raised us back up to AAA. Standard & Poor's moved us up to a positive outlook with the AA plus, and Moody's kept us at the same level. Again, with a positive outlook, but negative, just move on. And that makes a difference for all the programs that we have to do in our capital budget. Our capital budget this year has $360 million in capital projects that we're planning on, including some of the ones that we're about flooding. We're talking about having a I'm going through that process yet to identify a person who's going to be targeted just to deal with the flooding projects that we have out of the $360 million. We have a $90 million number for fair and affordable housing in Westchester County. When we walked in the door, that was $20 million, and now we're close at $90 million, including a $50 million flex fund to take the projects that you in the village have approved that may have had issues because of interest rate increases or supply chain cost increases, to be able to make sure that those projects can get done. So that application process just started, and we were reported today that we have 8 applications in for that $50 million. And again, that's because of the leadership of county executive and our team we're going to continue to work we're doing on roads and bridges to make sure that the investments happen, and we continue to move those projects forward. And we do the work with all of you. Turn it back over to George.
Our county police is fully funded, and in fact, it's the highest level of funding that we have year over year. And the county police provides some degree of assistance to the Elm Street Police on different projects. Hopefully that relationship is working well, and we're going to return to the Commissioner and Chief as we go forward. We've also EMS budgets, and as you know, we provide training regionally and police training regionally. We pay in for the people that you put in. We set up the overall regional responsibilities for training, and then if you need a squad unit, things of that nature that are regional in scope, hopefully we're there and have been able to help you on that. We budgeted in this budget $8 million for economic development. Now, within that budget is also things that we do to promote the region as a whole. Tourism is in that and some other things. So to the extent that your efforts in economic development need assistance from us, then that's a dialogue that we've had. And Mike certainly has been dialoguing with us on that to figure out how we can work with it. Our industrial development agency covers your community. So if there's a project that you want to incent, Joan McDonald, who's our director of operations, heads the industrial development agency. Also the LDC, which deals with not-for-profit organizations. So if there's a proposal of development, we look to you to what you want to do in the community. We don't override and tell you do this or don't do this. But if you determine that there's project development, we created mobile crisis response teams so that we have people who are mental health professionals who can respond when dispatched and identified by police. So if the incident that's being told involves somebody who is having a moment, that there can be a professional accompany the police, and maybe they can de-escalate it, even avoid a tragedy if that's possible. But we leave that in the hands of the interaction with the police and the mental health organization.
Thank you. And we put in additional money for some of the organizations that are important for all of us to be able to deliver services. We did $5 million for our nonprofit partners that are various to be able to deliver the services in Westchester County. It includes $1.3 million for food insecurity, a challenge that we have across the county that continues that we have to do from COVID times, but now we see it at a much higher level that continues there, $1.3 million for that. We announced a $1.5 million program for tobacco cessation for our young folks that shouldn't be smoking under 21. That program is rolling out in the next month as well, where we work with partners to do the education and updating for our young folks to be able to move forward and not to get engaged in smoking that has been a challenge for all of us. We have the Black and Brown Maternal Health Program. Governor identified that in her budget this year, but we put a $1 million program that combined with Senator Schumer's $1 million to continue to improve the healthcare outcome for all of the women that are going through that particular maternal scenario, and combined with the Project Alliance that County Executive just talked about, another $1 million to open up an outpatient mental health clinic. That's going to be for those programs that are a little bit more challenging than the ones from our nonprofit partners can do, and we're looking forward to continuing that work.
Just to wrap it up, we've established a position for Director of Flood mitigation and resiliency. We haven't staffed that position yet, but that will become a point person to deal with the flooding issue. We think that will be helpful in that person be interacting with your community on the flooding issues that you have. As you know, we've electrified our bus system. All of our B-Line buses now are either hybrid electric or electric, so no diesel, meaning no diesel blast, and they pull away from the bus stop. And we have over the last couple of summers made the buses free in the summertime, which we think is helpful to people, particularly kids who are often in the summer that can get around, do the recreation things we want them to do. We put money aside for electric vehicle charging stations for the county, but also a joint fund of $5 million that you can tap into. It's a shared expense situation. If you're on top of the grade, if you want to get more information, people across the team can provide that to you. We also put an effort out there to try to get the MTA to look at establishing commuter rail service into Penn Station down the Hudson line. You know, we live in a world where getting into the city is important for some people. People decide whether they want to buy a house based on the convenience of going into the city. And all of our lines, Hudson, New Haven, and Harlem, go into Penn Central Station. A couple of years ago, a plan was put into effect, which will allow New Haven line trains using Amtrak route from Boston into Penn Station to use those tracks and get some service into Penn Station, which will help us quite a bit. Long Island now with Grand Central Madison has access for commuters to go on the east side and then also on the west side. And we want the same thing out here in the suburbs. So we have it coming on the New Haven line, and now we're trying to get the MTA to consider doing it on the Hudson line, which is a little more proximate. The Harlem line is going to be difficult because there's no Amtrak line, and that's really what you're using, Amtrak tracks that go into Penn Station. Hopefully that will be a helpful thing. There's a few other issues that are on the table. Anything that you have that you want to direct to us, we're fine. And just as a summary point, You may be aware that a couple of years ago, I authored a bill, gave it to the board of legislators, they approved it, that create a term limit on the county executive position to 2 4-year terms. And it's what we call a hard term limit. There's no coming back. Maybe you can't put your right foot seat, take it back, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm now in less than 2 years, I'll be leaving this county executive. So whatever we can do during this period of time that's productive, we do it together. And then you look to the future and hopefully the same relationships that we've had, you'll have with the next county executive. And then that will continue on for the benefit of Oxford and for your colleagues in other towns. So that's our report. And any questions, Mr. Mayor, that you and your colleagues have about the judges?
Thank you. We'll pass around the room. I'd like to thank you also for stopping by all the time to see our seniors. You're
Now that I'm one too, you know.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're constantly popping in and they love it. After you leave, you always drop off the brochures and stuff and you chat with them and take pictures and they really enjoy it.
And bring cookies.
And cook, and bring cookies, yes, you do, you bring cookies, but thank you for that, thank you for always coming in. Deputy County Executive at the Montgomery. Again, I'll let everybody speak in a second, but I can't thank you enough. Bad news is we are losing you in a couple of years, you know, because you turned yourself out, we're very upset about that. Good news is you'll be our congressman, so so you can help us on a different level, which would be exciting too. So it'd be nice, you know, you can continue on doing great service to us and everybody in the county. So, Trustee Henry, any questions or comments or anything?
No questions, but thank you very much for taking the time to address us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Wish I was with you too. A little cold up here.
He's gonna bring the one by the back. We hope. That's a
I hope
prerequisite.
so.
Back unless he brings it back. Trustee Colby?
I don't have any further questions, but I'd like to thank you for taking the time to speak to us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Evans?
No questions, just gratitude and appreciation for being willing to come out and strengthening relationships between the county and villages and making sure they're well run. So it's appreciated, it's noted. And this relationship is one that we definitely do that. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I don't know if I should let the last guy speak because he works for you, so trustee
We work together. We work together. We have different responsibilities.
I'm just gonna say, I'm a county employee for the past 30 years. I can say that I never seen such a progress within the county. That's thanks for you. Great. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Administrator?
You've been fantastic for us in the village. And now a couple sales pitches. We are an applicant for the car chargers.
Yep.
Okay. So you can make a little phone call about that if you would. On the agenda tonight, we're actually applying to the New York State DOT Rebuild America Infrastructure Project for complete streets for a bike path that goes from the county trail here to the bridge. And part of that will also be an application to you guys, to your complete streets program. So put us on the list for that one too.
Okay.
And then just want to thank you. I've been very persistent over the last 6 months or so as we worked through getting you guys to join us in an effort with the New York State DOT, with Sawmill Parkway, with Valley Avenue, and a residential development to be done there. And just thank you very much. Your staff worked extremely well with us, and that's in the process. Thank you. Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We know you have a long night ahead, so thanks for the courtesy, guys.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Well, see you again. See you. We'll come to you.
Gentlemen, thanks a lot. Have a good night.
sir.
Bye-bye.
Congressman.
Good night, thank you. ARB, any objections, all up and the two together? 8 South Mortimer Solar, 12 Robbins Avenue Solar.
Paul?
Henry,
Aye.
trustee Coffee. Aye. Trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye.
Mayor White.
Aye. Consideration of establishing a public hearing on proposal for law repealing and replacing Article 4 of the Village of Hampshire Code to enact property tax exemptions for senior citizens. What day you, how much time you need?
I'm gonna attempt tomorrow to do the 4th. If not, it'll be the meeting after.
So moved.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
trustee Coffee,
Reluctantly, aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye. Resolution supporting the County of Greenberg's submission of the 2024 USDOT Rebuilding American Infrastructure.
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
trustee Henry,
Aye.
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez,
Aye.
Mayor White.
Aye. A resolution approving amendment to the County of Westchester Village Officer Agreement to C 6722 U53, June 15th for the playground at White Plains Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Henry,
Aye.
trustee Coffee,
Aye.
trustee Evans,
Aye.
trustee Lopez, Mayor White.
Aye. That's all I got. You.
Correct.
Thank you. Committee report, trustee Henry.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by thanking Chief Signor and the fire department for always doing a great job. We've certainly had a run of house fires, most recently 266 Abbott Avenue. Units responded and found a heavy fire condition on the second floor, and they rapidly stretched hose lines and made quick work of the fire. Another really good job by our department and the mutual aid units that came in to assist. That's all I have fire department wise. EMS wise, I'd like to thank EMS coordinator Diaz and his EMS personnel for also always doing a great job. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Coffee.
I have further with the building department, and we'd like to thank them for all the effort they do. Everyone on the straight and narrow. Our friends at the Arts and Library have sent us flyers that the mayor has kindly distributed to everyone for Bobby's birthday party. They help us some great things. My girls are young. Lodging, and then books of discussions, books and bands, and then a art program that are all going to be taking place in March. And you can sign up, some for adults and some for children. And up by local library to sign up for these items.
Trustee Evans.
Thank you, sir. We are in sanitation department, who we are incredibly grateful for these days. All of the work putting in, the snowstorm last. I know as many of you probably, shoveling out the icy conditions and after it. It made it tough, but I don't just say because I sit up here. You can tell when you enter the village and when you leave the village by the conditions of the roads each and every time. And that really goes to speak to not only their hard work during, but their hard work before, their hard work after, to make sure that when you're in this municipality, we are safe. So Brian, thank you. And please extend that gratitude and appreciation to your team as well. They repaired road damage from a water main break and valve repair. Of course, they're there to make sure that our community is served as they assist with the food pantry. You will notice as you drive by that the new fence at Duluth Park has been installed. The fence got into it with a vehicle and lost. So thus a new fence was installed at Duluth Park to replace that one. And of course, the usual daily maintenance of our highway and sanitation department. in terms of our public schools, just a couple things to note, coming up in the next couple of weeks, February 29th is the college info night for juniors. And on 3 to 9 a.m. is the budget workshop. So I encourage all its residents to definitely attend that budget workshop and make sure that your thoughts, opinions, and views are incorporated as the school board refines, retools their school budget for the upcoming school year. Besides that, currently, the game is still happening right now, but Hamilton is the boys basketball team is currently engaged in the quarterfinals of the Class B sectionals. So after I yield back, I'll get a score update and provide that information for the board. So with that, I will go back.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Lopez?
I'm working on it. That's good.
All right, so before I give you my report, Mr. Mayor, I just want to let you guys know that I received a couple phone calls regarding this law removal. And what was said was that my neighbors, they were really, really happy to see the way you guys do your job, the way the water department helps. And what I was told was that no matter what time it is, you're always up there doing an excellent job. So they told me to say thank you, and here it goes. Thank you, guys. Water department. They continue to be really busy with their daily water testing and mark sites. They assisted with the snow removal. 2 water breaks were fixed. 2 mainline water valves were replaced. IT. Mike is in the process of updating the hardware in the core computers. The printer in the PD was replaced. He continues with his daily support to the village departments. Constables. They work the following details during the months of January and February. They work the Hamilton High School basketball games from February 5th to the 9th. They work the Mount Carmel Food Pantry into 17. They also work the Mount Carmel Mass Details on January 28th, February 4th, February 11th, and February 18th. And I believe that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank Commissioner Forst and the police department for doing a great job as always. Our 3 new guys are fit right in and they're off and running and doing a great job. The community food pantry Mount Carmel went well, and the Echoes Africa Feeding West System food pantry is on the 24th. More food pantries are Mount Carmel on March 16th and Echoes Africa on March 30th. The 2 proclamations this month. One is for the Elmsford Rotary. The mayor, trustees, administrator congratulates the Elmsford Rotary on their 65th anniversary, February 28, 1959 and February 28, 2024. Thank you for all you do for the Elmsford community. As mayor of the village of Elmsford, I hereby proclaim that Wednesday, February 28, 2024 be Elmsford Rotary Day in the village of Elmsford. And I went to the Montefiore grand opening. Even it's just outside the village. Whereas on this first day of February in the year 2024, we welcome and thank Montefiore Einstein Advanced Care Westchester for opening a new facility at 555 Paxton Road. Whereas Montefiore has always been a leader in the medical field by caring for the patients. Whereas by Montefiore opening this new facility, it will better serve the people in the area and bring more updated healthcare to all of us. Whereas the village of Elmsford wishes Montefiore Einstein much success in many years in the new facility. Now therefore, I, Robert Williams, Mayor of the Village of Elmsford, do hereby proclaim Thursday, February 1st, 2024, be Montefiore Einstein Day in the Village of Elmsford. They occupy 90% of the building, and they have 200 doctors in there and all kinds of new facilities. So, at least according to them, they're the largest growing healthcare company in the county. So, but it was nice to see everybody. There was a lot of people who were there, and Deputy County Executive. Administrator? Thank you. Chief? Progress, thank you. EMS guy? Whatever. ED?
Yep.
Highway? Anything? Other? Motion to adjourn to executive session? All in favor? Need, Chief and EMS guy, please.
As of 34.